Picture a dusty road in Galilee. The year is approximately 30 AD. A woman moves through a crowd, her body bent, her face hidden. She has been bleeding for 12 years. 12 years of pain, 12 years of spending everything she had on physicians who took her money and gave her nothing in return. 12 years of being called unclean, untouchable, cursed. But this woman knew something about her own body that no one else understood. Something that had been whispered to her in the quiet moments when she was alone with her suffering. And when she touched the hem of a garment belonging to a traveling teacher named Jesus, he spoke one sentence that confirmed what she had always known. One sentence that the religious establishment has been trying to suppress ever since. One sentence that changes everything you thought you understood about your own body, your own power, and your own divine nature. Right now, before we go any further, subscribe to this channel and turn on notifications because what you are about to learn has been deliberately hidden from you by institutions that profit from your ignorance. The woman with the issue of blood knew something that modern medicine still refuses to acknowledge. She knew that her body was not broken. She knew that her condition was not a punishment. And she knew exactly where her healing would come from. Not from outside, but from a power that had been inside her all along, waiting for the right frequency to activate it. If you have ever felt that your body was trying to tell you something that doctors could not explain, if you have ever experienced symptoms that appeared and disappeared without medical reason, comment the words "I understand now." This is your acknowledgement that you are ready to receive what was hidden in plain sight for 2,000 years. The Gospel of Mark chapter 5 verses 25 through 34 records this encounter. But what you read in your Bible is the sanitized version, the edited story approved by councils who had every reason to remove the dangerous truth this woman carried. Let me tell you what actually happened that day and what it means for your body right now in this moment. The woman had spent everything on physicians. This detail is not just historical background. This is a direct statement about the medical industrial complex of her time and hours. She went to expert after expert. She submitted to treatment after treatment. She believed that someone outside of herself held the answer to her suffering, and every single one of them failed her, not because they were incompetent but because they were looking in the wrong place. They treated her body as a machine with broken parts. They saw symptoms to be suppressed rather than messages to be understood. They never once asked what her body was trying to communicate. But 12 years of failure taught this woman something profound. She learned to listen. Not to the physicians, not to the priests, not to the voices of authority telling her she was unclean and cursed. She learned to listen to the intelligence inside her own flesh, and that intelligence told her something that sounded like madness. It told her that her healing did not require permission. It did not require ritual. It did not require an intermediary. It required only one thing: contact with a specific frequency that she would recognize when she encountered it. This is where the story becomes dangerous to institutional power. The woman did not ask Jesus for healing. She did not petition him. She did not beg. She did not explain her condition or seek his approval. She moved through the crowd and touched his garment without permission, without announcement, without following any of the proper protocols that religious law demanded. And the moment her hand made contact, something happened that modern medicine cannot explain but that quantum physics is beginning to understand. Power went out of him. Those are the exact words recorded in the text. Power went out of Jesus and into the woman, not metaphorical power, literal energetic transfer, measurable force moving from one body to another through intention and contact. Jesus felt it immediately. He turned and asked who touched him. His disciples thought the question was absurd. Dozens of people were pressing against him in the crowd. But Jesus was not asking about physical contact. He was asking about energetic extraction. He knew that someone had accessed his field and drawn power from it. And this is the part that changes everything. When the woman came forward trembling when she admitted what she had done, Jesus did not rebuke her for breaking protocol. He did not tell her that only he had the power to heal. He spoke one sentence that confirmed what she already knew. "Daughter, your faith has made you whole. Not my power, your faith, not my authority, your recognition, not my divinity, your activation." This sentence is a revolution hidden in plain sight. Jesus explicitly stated that the power that healed her came from inside her own system. Her faith was not belief in an external God. Her faith was certainty about her own divine nature. She knew that her body contained the same source energy that flowed through the teacher everyone called master. She knew that healing was not something granted from above but something activated from within, and she knew exactly how to access it. Take a breath right now. Feel your lungs expand. Feel the oxygen entering your bloodstream. Your body is performing thousands of processes right now that you are not consciously controlling. Your heart beats without your instruction. Your cells regenerate without your command. Your immune system fights invaders without your awareness. This is not accident. This is intelligence, divine intelligence operating through flesh. The woman with the issue of blood understood that when this intelligence is blocked, when the flow is disrupted, symptoms appear. Not as punishment but as communication. Her bleeding was not a curse. It was a message that she had finally learned to decode. Now let me take you deeper into what she knew and how you can apply this to your own body right now. The number 12 appears twice in this story. 12 years of bleeding for the woman. 12 years of life for the daughter of Jairus who Jesus raised from death in the very next passage. This is not coincidence. In the esoteric traditions that Jesus studied before his public ministry, the number 12 represents completion of a cycle. 12 tribes, 12 disciples, 12 gates, 12 levels of initiation. The woman had completed a 12-year cycle of learning through suffering. She had graduated from every false solution. She had exhausted every external authority. And in that completion, in that absolute bankruptcy of outside answers, she discovered the truth that had been inside her all along. Her body was not broken. Her body was awakening. The bleeding that physicians called disease was actually her system purging everything that did not belong. 12 years of releasing false programming, toxic belief, inherited trauma, and energetic parasites that had attached to her field before she was old enough to know how to protect herself. This is what your unexplained symptoms are doing right now. That pain that moves around your body with no medical cause, that exhaustion that no amount of sleep resolves, that inflammation that appears and disappears without pattern. These are not malfunctions, these are purges. Your body is waking up to its true nature, and everything that does not match that frequency must be expelled. The medical system will offer you 100 diagnoses. They will give you names for your suffering that sound scientific and authoritative. They will prescribe interventions that suppress the symptoms while the root cause remains untouched. And you will spend your money and your time and your hope just like the woman with the issue of blood did for 12 years. Or you can do what she finally did. You can recognize that your body is not broken. You can understand that your symptoms are language. And you can learn to touch the frequency that activates the healing intelligence you have carried since before you were born. Here is what she knew that Jesus confirmed. Every human body contains what ancient traditions called the pneuma, the breath of the divine, the spark of source consciousness embedded in flesh. In most people, this pneuma remains dormant their entire lives. It sits like a seed in frozen ground, waiting for conditions that never come. These people live and die without ever accessing the power inside them. But in certain individuals, in the chosen ones, in those who carry specific contracts and assignments, the pneuma begins to activate. And when it does, the body goes through a transformation that looks like illness to outside observers but is actually upgrade. The woman's bleeding was her pneuma activating. Her body was being rewired to hold higher frequency. The old operating system was being deleted, the new one was being installed, and the process was painful, costly, and isolating. Every healer she consulted told her something was wrong with her. Every religious authority told her she was unclean. Every social norm told her to hide in shame. But deep inside, beneath the pain and the confusion and the despair, a knowing persisted. A knowing that whispered, "This is not death, this is birth." When she touched the garment of Jesus, she was not reaching for him. She was reaching for the confirmation that her knowing was true. And his response gave her exactly that. Your faith has made you whole. Translation: your inner knowing activated your inner power, which reorganized your physical body to match your energetic truth. This same process is available to you right now, not theoretically, not symbolically, literally available in your actual body in this actual moment. Place your hand on your abdomen right now. This is where the woman would have experienced her bleeding. This is the location of the sacral energy center that governs creativity, life force, and personal power. Many of you watching this have unexplained issues in this area of your body. Digestive problems, reproductive challenges, lower back pain, bladder infections, unexplained cramping. The medical system treats these as separate conditions, but they are all expressions of the same thing. Your sacral center is activating, your life force is increasing, and everything that has been blocking that power is being pushed to the surface to be released. The woman knew this. She knew that her bleeding was not the problem. The bleeding was the solution. Her body was solving a problem that began long before the symptoms appeared. And when she touched the hem of Jesus' garment, she was completing a circuit. His activated pneuma connected with her activating pneuma, and the frequency jumped between them like electricity. This is what the text means when it says power went out of him. It was not that he gave her something she lacked. It was that his fully activated field catalyzed the activation already in progress within her. Think of it like jumper cables on a battery. The power is already in the battery. The cables just provide the connection that allows the charge to flow. Jesus was the catalyst, but the power was hers. Now here's what this means for you practically. You do not need Jesus to walk the earth again for this to work. You do not need a guru or a healer or a priest. You need what the woman had. Certainty about what is happening inside your body, recognition that your symptoms are not your enemy, and willingness to touch the frequency that activates your own healing intelligence. Let me give you the technique exactly as it was practiced in the hidden schools where Jesus trained before his public ministry. Step 1 is acknowledgement. Stop calling your symptoms problems. Stop treating your body as broken. Begin right now to acknowledge that every pain, every irregularity, every unexplained condition is your system communicating valuable information. Your body is not attacking itself. Your body is protecting itself from something it recognizes as threat. That threat might be toxic food, toxic relationship, toxic belief, toxic environment, or toxic energy that you absorb from someone else. The symptom is not the disease. The symptom is the cure in progress. Step 2 is dialogue. Your body speaks in sensation, not in words. When pain appears, do not immediately reach for medication to silence it. Pause, place your hand on the area that hurts, close your eye, ask the pain what it is releasing. Do not expect an audible voice, expect a knowing. An image, a memory, a sudden awareness of a person or an event or a belief that you have been carrying without realizing it. This is your body showing you what it is purging. Step 3 is permission. This is the most important step and the one that most people miss. Your body will not complete the purge without your conscious permission. It will cycle the same symptoms over and over, trying to get your attention, waiting for you to authorize the release. When you receive the information from step 2, when you understand what is being purged, you speak permission aloud. Say these exact words. I give my body full permission to release everything that does not serve my highest frequency. I authorize complete purging of all toxins, all trauma, all programming, and all energetic interference. My healing is already in progress. These words are not a request to a deity. These words are a command to your own cellular intelligence. You are the authority. You are the one your body is waiting to hear from. When you speak permission, you complete the circuit just like the woman completed the circuit by touching the garment. Step 4 is rest. After you give permission, your body will accelerate the purge. You may feel temporarily worse. You may experience increased pain, increased fatigue, increased emotion. This is not failure, this is success. The purge is happening. Your only job is to rest and allow it. Do not push through, do not perform, do not pretend you are fine. Rest is not weakness. Rest is the state in which your body does its deepest healing work. Step 5 is confirmation. Within 3 days of giving permission, watch for the sign that the purge is complete. The sign is always the same. Sudden improvement, pain that disappears as quickly as it came, energy that returns in a rush, clarity that replaces confusion, and a knowing bone-deep insert that something shifted. When you feel this confirmation, speak aloud, I am whole, not I will be whole, not I hope to be whole, I am whole, present tense, declared fact. This locks in the new frequency and prevents the old pattern from returning. The woman with the issue of blood did all 5 steps in a matter of moments. 12 years of suffering had taught her the process. When Jesus confirmed her knowing, she was not just physically healed, she was initiated. She graduated from victim to sovereign, from broken to whole, from powerless to powerful. And this brings us to the sentence that the religious institutions have spent 2,000 years trying to bury. Go in peace and be healed of your plague. Not stay here and let me monitor you. Not come to the temple regularly for maintenance. Not depend on priests to keep you well. Go, leave. You are complete. You need nothing else. This sentence is a direct threat to every system that profits from your sense of lack. The medical system needs you to believe that healing comes from outside. The pharmaceutical industry needs you to believe that your body cannot regulate itself. The religious system needs you to believe that you require an intermediary to access the divine, and all of them lose power the moment you realize what the woman realized. You are not broken, you never were, you are awakening, and the process looks like suffering only because you have been taught to interpret purging as disease. Let me tell you what happened to the woman after this encounter. The Bible does not record it, but the Gnostic texts do. She became a teacher. She went from village to village sharing what she had learned. Not that Jesus healed her, but that Jesus confirmed her own power. She taught other women how to listen to their bodies, how to decode their symptoms, how to give permission for the purge, and how to walk away whole without needing anyone's ongoing authority. The early church hunted these women. They called them witches. They called them heretics. They silenced them with fire and sword, because women who knew they carried healing power inside their own bodies would never submit to patriarchal control, would never tithe for salvation, would never beg priests for what they already possessed. But the teaching survived. It went underground. It was encoded in fairy tales and folk medicine. It was whispered from grandmother to granddaughter. It was hidden in herbalism and midwifery and practices that the church could not fully eradicate. And now it is returning. Not because someone is teaching it from outside, but because your body is remembering it from inside. That autoimmune condition they cannot explain. That chronic pain with no clear cause. That hormonal chaos that appeared out of nowhere. These are not curses, these are not punishments. These are your pneuma activating, your divine spark waking up, your body purging everything that cannot exist at the frequency you are becoming. The woman with the issue of blood spent 12 years and all her money learning what I just gave you in minutes. She had no teacher, she had no guide. She had only her suffering and her willingness to keep listening until she understood the language. You have what she did not have, you have this teaching. You have the 5 steps, you have the confirmation that your knowing is true. Now let me show you how to recognize which symptoms are purge and which symptoms require medical attention. This is critical because the teaching can be misused. Not every pain is pneuma activation. Not every illness is spiritual upgrade. There is a simple test. Purge symptoms move. They appear in one place, shift to another, disappear and reappear without clear pattern. Medical symptoms stay. They worsen progressively. They respond predictably to physical intervention. Purge symptoms intensify during spiritual activity. during meditation, during energy work, during times of high-frequency alignment. Medical symptoms remain constant regardless of spiritual state. Purge symptoms release when you give permission and rest. Medical symptoms require physical treatment. Use discernment. Use both spiritual knowing and practical wisdom. The woman went to physicians first. She tried physical solutions. Only after those failed did she recognize that her condition required a different approach. Honor your body enough to give it both spiritual and physical support. But understand this clearly. The medical system will never tell you that your body is waking up. They cannot. Their entire framework is built on pathology, on finding what is wrong and fixing it. They have no category for upgrade, no diagnosis for activation, no treatment for divine emergence. So when your tests come back normal but your symptoms remain, when doctors offer you labels that do not quite fit, when you are told it is all in your head, remember the woman. Remember that she knew something about her body that no physician could confirm. And remember that Jesus, the master teacher, the one who walked in full pneuma activation, looked at her and said, "Your faith made you whole. Not my power, yours. You have been carrying this power your entire life. Every unexplained healing you experienced, every time your body recovered against odds, every moment when something shifted inside you without medical intervention, those were not flukes. Those were glimpses of what you actually are, a divine intelligence housed in flesh, a spark of source consciousness operating a biological vehicle, a chosen one with a pneuma that is waking up whether you understand the process or not." The woman's story ends with her walking away whole, free, complete, requiring nothing and no one. This is your inheritance. This is your birthright. This is what one sentence from an activated teacher confirmed for a suffering woman 2,000 years ago. And it is exactly as true for you now as it was for her then. Your faith, your knowing, your certainty about your own divine nature, this is what makes you whole. Not wishful thinking, not positive affirmations, not pretending everything is fine. But deep recognition of what you are and what your body is doing. If this teaching has activated something in you, if you feel a confirmation in your body right now, comment the words "I am awakening." Let other chosen ones see your declaration. Let the algorithm know this teaching must spread. Subscribe to this channel because the transmissions come and go even deeper than what you received today. Like this video so it reaches others whose bodies are speaking to them in symptoms they do not yet understand. One woman, 12 years of suffering. One touch, one sentence, complete transformation. She knew what her body was doing. Jesus confirmed it with words that the church has tried to bury ever since. Now you know your body is not broken, your symptoms are not punishment, your pain is purge, your struggle is activation, and the power to complete the process has been inside you all along. Touch the frequency, give permission, rest in knowing. Your faith is making you whole right now. This is the moment where everything changes for you. Not someday, not when circumstances align, not when you finally find the right healer or the right treatment or the right answer from outside yourself. Now, in this breath, in this body, in this awareness that you are not broken but awakening. The woman with the issue of blood did not wait for perfect conditions. She did not ask permission. She did not consult authorities. She moved through the crowd, she reached out, she made contact with the frequency she recognized, and she completed her healing in an instant because she had already done the inner work of believing that healing was possible from within herself. You are in the same position she was in. You are standing at a threshold. On one side is the old story, the story where your body is a machine that breaks down and requires outside repair, the story where symptoms are enemies to be fought and suppressed. The story where healing comes from someone smarter, someone outside, someone with credentials and authority and power that you do not possess. That story has cost you time. It has cost you money. It has cost you hope. But you do not have to stay in that story anymore. The other side of the threshold is the truth that the woman discovered. Your body is not a machine. It is an intelligent ecosystem speaking to you constantly in the language of sensation. Your symptoms are not enemies. They are messengers bringing you information about what needs to change. And healing does not come from outside. Healing comes from you recognizing what you already are and giving your body permission to complete the transformation that is already in progress. The choice you make right now will determine your relationship with your body for the rest of your life. You can continue down the path of seeking external solutions, spending your resources on interventions that treat symptoms while leaving causes untouched, remaining dependent on systems that profit from your continued suffering. Or you can step across the threshold with the woman. You can stop calling your body broken. You can start listening to what it is trying to tell you. You can give it permission to purge everything that does not serve your highest frequency. You can rest while it does the work. And you can emerge just like she did, whole and free and requiring nothing from anyone. This is not a matter of belief system. This is not asking you to abandon science or medicine or practical wisdom. This is asking you to expand your understanding of what your body is capable of. Medical science has mapped the physical structures of your organism. It has categorized diseases and named conditions and created treatments that can be incredibly valuable in the right context. But medical science has not mapped the consciousness operating through your body. It has not measured the frequency that animates your flesh. It has not accounted for the pneuma, the divine spark, the source intelligence that is waking up in more and more human beings right now as we transition into a new era of human consciousness and capability. Your doctors are not equipped to recognize what is happening to you because they were trained in a system that does not acknowledge what you are experiencing. This does not make them wrong. It makes them limited by their training. Honor what they can offer you, use their tools when they serve you, but do not make them the authority on what your body is and what it can do. The most powerful thing you can do right now is trust yourself more than you trust any external authority. Trust the knowing that is emerging in your body. Trust the recognition that something is different about you, something is waking up, something is changing. Trust that the symptoms that appear are not random or meaningless, but are part of an intelligent process that your body is conducting on your behalf. Trust that you already know how to heal yourself because you have been doing it your entire life. Every time your body recovered from a cold, every time an injury mended, every time you survived something that could have broken you. Your body knows how to heal. Your body has always known how to heal. The only question is whether you will finally trust that knowing and get out of your body's way. The woman trusted herself when no one else trusted her. She trusted the whisper inside that said healing is possible. She trusted that contact with a specific frequency would catalyze her wholeness. She trusted even though it meant breaking protocol and risking shame and going against everything the authorities told her was right and proper. And her trust was rewarded with transformation so complete that when Jesus spoke to her, he did not say you are healed. He said you are whole. Healed implies something was broken and has been repaired. Whole implies something was never actually broken but has now recognized itself as complete. This is the distinction that changes everything. You are not broken, you are not in need of repair, you are awakening to wholeness that has always been your nature. As you move forward from this moment, remember that the path of awakening is not always comfortable. Your body will continue to communicate, symptoms will continue to appear, purges will continue to happen. There will be moments when you question whether you are actually waking up or actually falling apart. There will be moments when you want to return to the old story, because at least that story was familiar and you knew how to navigate it. Do not turn back. The woman did not turn back even though she had every reason to. She was bleeding, she was in pain, she had already lost 12 years and all her resources. Any rational person would have given up, but something inside her knew better. Something inside her knew that the pain was not the end but the beginning. And that same something is inside you. Trust it, follow it. Let it lead you to the wholeness that awaits on the other side of the purge. You are not alone in this. Across the world right now, thousands of people are waking up to the same truth. They are recognizing symptoms as activation. They are giving their bodies permission to purge. They are learning to trust themselves more than they trust external authorities. They are discovering that healing power they thought was lost or never existed or belonged only to special enlightened people. They are remembering that they carry a divine spark inside their own flesh. They are becoming whole. And each person who awakens makes it easier for the next person to awaken because you are all connected in a vast network of consciousness. Your awakening supports the awakening of others. Your healing contributes to the healing of the collective. Your recognition of your own power strengthens the frequency field that others are trying to access. This is why I asked you to comment the words "I am awakening." This is why I asked you to like and share this teaching. These are not just engagement metrics or algorithmic tricks. These are declarations of allegiance. These are statements that you are crossing the threshold. These are proclamations that you no longer accept the old story. And each time another person sees your declaration, each time another person is reminded that awakening is possible, each time the algorithm recognizes that this teaching must spread, the frequency rises. The field strengthens. And more people find the courage to trust themselves and give their bodies permission to complete the transformation that has already begun within them. You came to this video for a reason. You have a symptom or a condition or an unexplained experience that brought you here. That was not accident, that was your body calling you. Your body said there is something you need to know about what I am doing inside you. And here you are, now you know your body is not broken. Your symptoms are not punishment. The pain you have been enduring is not meaningless suffering but meaningful purge. And the power to complete the process has been inside you every single moment. All you have to do is acknowledge it, dialogue with it, give it permission, rest while it works, and confirm the completion when it arrives. 5 steps, practiced by the woman with the issue of blood, confirmed by Jesus, encoded in teachings that have survived 2,000 years of suppression, available to you now in this moment in your own body. Go forward from this knowing, touch the frequency, give yourself permission, watch what happens when you finally trust what your body has been trying to tell you all along.